Let's get out to have a look at what's happening in Germany, because Sprotty, Michael Sprott, a friend of the show, he may be 38, we love him. Sprotty's been there, he's done it. We do, he's a lovely fellow, Michael. He's just got a great way about him. He's going to be fighting Robert Helenius, #1 contender, officially mandated to try to fight Vladimir Klitschko. Helenius is unbeaten in 11 KOs, and people forget that before he beat Derek Chisora, he didn't, he lost on the night. He'd beaten 2 world champions in back-to-back fights, Steve.
That's right. Back in 2011, he had a real run. He beat Sam Peter in 9 rounds. He briefly held the WBC. I think he beat Matskayev and then got done by Vitali. And Shahari Lajkovic, the White Wolf, was the WBO. And you remember we also saw, we were ringside in Helsinki when he beat Attila Levine.
Yeah, great shot.
That was a great shot, and that was a big grudge match.
Great T-shirt he's got on there. Fighting solves everything. If you know if that's part of a charity, can you give me a tweet? It's at Big Daddy Bunce. I'd like to give Fighting Solves Everything a bit of a plug. I'm tempted to go out there because there's just a chance that Helenius, the Nordic Nightmare, I think he's called, one of his many nicknames, the Viking Nightmare or whatever, there's a good chance he'll come into something like a heavy metal band. You're going to be listening to Barry Jones, former WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the world, and the first voice you'll hear, assuming it's not some mad deaf grunge metal guitarist singing, will be John Rawling. Over to the boys. We'll see you after this one.
Robert, the Nordic Nightmare, Helenius.
Well, here comes Robert Helenius. We've already seen the ring entrance of Michael Sprott here. Been a professional since 1996, Michael, and what a tremendous servant he's been for boxing over the years, and still a very good fighter. Steve, perceptive about Robert Helenius's musical tastes. Having been over in Finland myself, I can tell you that about 99% of the population seem to be into heavy metal. Don't expect too many folk singers if you go to Finland. 29 years old. A little bit lucky, I think most people would agree, to have come through as a winner against Derek Chisora, but injured in that fight, had to undergo surgery, and has had 1 fight since, a points win against Sherman Williams. But they're talking about him potentially fighting against Vladimir Klitschko for a world title, but he's got to come through this first. Robbie, that's the fans of Robert Helenius. And Michael Sprott, Barry, has certainly got the blueprint of how to beat this guy, because Derek Chisora might not have got the verdict, but he certainly showed how he can be beaten.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say something, if Helenius hasn't skipped any part of his training, which I doubt he has, but if he has, when Michael Sprott's on form, he's a very, very hard man to beat.
6'6.5", Helenius, as against Michael Sprott's 6'1.5", so that's going to be a factor.
Yeah, massively, but Sprott's used to punching up, isn't he? He's used to boxing. He's boxed pretty much every decent heavyweight out there in the last 10 odd years, you know. Dimitrenko is another giant himself, isn't he? You know, I know he lost that fight, but he's used to competing against these guys.
Undefeated, Helenius, 18 wins. He's not really a big one-punch knockout artist, though. He likes to dismantle a man on the end of that long, authoritative left jab. Decent right cross as well. He says that Sprott is technically gifted, and he was at ringside when Sprott beat Michael Gerber, but he said that my jab could be the difference. Well, that quite clearly is going to be the case if Helenius can establish it when you've got those sort of reach advantages. But what an opportunity this could be for Michael Sprott.
Dieser Kampf im Schwergewicht ist auf 10 Runden angesetzt. Supervisor ist FVA-Präsident Willibald Palatin aus Wien, Österreich. Geht dieser Fight über die volle Distanz, dann entscheiden diese 3 Punktrichter. The 3 officials scoring this bout at ringside are Norbert Thürnberger aus Steyr, Österreich, Jörg Milke, zu Hause in Cottbus, Deutschland, und Rainer Schwarz, ebenfalls aus Steyr, Österreich. Wenn die Glocke ertönt, hat nur noch dieser Mann das letzte Wort im Ring. Es ist Ringrichter Ingo Barabas aus Egenhausen, Deutschland. Und das sind sie, die Details zu den beiden Kontrahenten. Introducing the fighter in the red corner, die rote Ecke mit dem Mann aus Großbritannien in weiß und blauen Trunks. Er ist 38 Jahre alt, offizielles Kampfgewicht. Ganz genau 110,3 Kilogramm, 1,87 Meter ist er groß. Es ist sein 18. Jahr als Profiboxer mit dieser Statistik. 56 Kämpfe, 37 Siege, 17 davon durch Knockout. Sein Coach James Evans from Reading, Berkshire, United Kingdom, Michael "The Heart" Sprott. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing white trunks, die blaue Ecke mit dem Boxer aus dem Sauerlandsteam. Er ist 29 Jahre alt. Sein Kampfgewicht 108,6 Kilogramm, genau 2 Meter ist er groß. Profi seit dem Jahr 2008 mit dieser Bilanz. 18 Kämpfe, 18 Siege, 11 Mal durch Knockout. Sein Trainer Uli Wegner. Geboren in Stockholm, Schweden, mit finnischem Pass, lebt und trainiert er in Berlin, Deutschland. Der Ex-Europameister und Nummer 1 der WBO-Weltrangliste, former European Heavyweight Champion, Robert "The Nordic Nightmare" Helenius. Wer wird diesen Kampf jetzt für sich entscheiden? Michael Sprott oder Robert Helenius? Die Antwort, die gibt's jetzt aus Magdeburg.
Michael, Robert. You know the rules. Follow my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Michael Sprott looks as though he's got himself into decent shape for this. It can be an enigmatic and variable sort of performer, but at his best, he is technically very good. Helenius weighing in at 17 stone 1, slightly lighter than Sprott. Not a lot between them. Helenius, though, does have that reach advantage that we talked about. But Sprott has got a very good quality left jab of his own and swinging himself off his feet with an attempted left hook.
And you would tend to think that Sprott has to stay low. Has to stay low. Throw that jab up. Keep very active, very mobile against Helenius. Once he gets in the end of that jab, it's a hard night's work.
Well, Derek Chisora found that if he just kept on coming and throwing big hooks in the direction of Helenius, then he's a target that can be found. Helenius has got some good names on his record. He's beaten former world champions, good shot there. Beaten former world champions Lamont Brewster, Samuel Peter, Sergei Liakovich.
Both fighters swinging, looking for the big shot at the moment.
Helenius very upright. Brings that right hand over well and hooking effectively off the jab there. Sprott just having a look at him.
Yeah, good work there, wasn't it, by Helenius? Going to get right hand to the body. Sprott's having a look, and I don't think he's hurt. But I'd like to see him move his head a little bit more.
Sprott's got to find a way of, I guess, getting his head on the chest and working away to the body at some point.
I think when you slip that jab, it's a sharp movement to the left, to the right, then come back with a shot. Rather than just covering up or dipping low and rolling, you have to do sharp movements and then attack. Because Helenius, you know, he's got a lovely jab, but he's got a long way to come back. He's got a very long reach, so you need to exploit that.
Oh, good shot from Sprott. Nice right hand. You can see that when he got the opportunity, he's really trying to load up. He's up for this, Sprott.
He got nice and close there, didn't he? Just exploded with a 4-punch combination.
Oh, nice right hand from Helenius, catching Sprott as he came in. Shout from the Sprott corner from Jim Evans of excellence as he landed that left hand to the body. And there's certainly been enough in this first round from Sprott to give cause for optimism as this fight pans out. Interesting opening round.
Yeah, I gave that to Helenius. I think he dominated mainly with his jab, but I think the Sprott corner will be happy with that. It was a good start for him, I think.
Und hier mit Ablocken nicht so machen. Hast du das gemerkt?
Uli Wegner.
So, schön aufpassen, das ist gefährlich.
Familiar figure on Box Nation in that corner with Robert Helenius.
So ist es gut. Mit der Führung sein locker arbeiten. Und wenn der gehst nach rechts rüber und dann kommt die rechte rüber.
Helenius ranked #1 challenger by the WBO.
Nicht überpesen. Du merkst das selber, wenn du führst, nicht? Schön locker. Aufpassen, da kommt schon mal zwischendurch, ja?
In case you're wondering about the rankings, the other guys who are up there at the moment, the IBF #1, Kubrat Pulev, the European champion. There's Adam Booth, happy with a night's work well done. Victory for George Groves earlier on. Alexander Povetkin, the current WBA champion, if you take away the nonsensical the ruling which means that the WBA super champion is Vladimir Klitschko. I've never quite get my head around that one. I know in boxing news, Bob Mee always rails away against that one, and I have to say I'm in the same boat on that. Sprott really trying to hurl those hooks in.
And I think it's the right idea, you know, you have to, because like I said earlier, once Helenius got such a long way to come back with his punches, once he throws, once you block that shot, you have to throw straight away, but it's a sharper movement. I think Michael showed a few flashes in the first round of things that he can do that can bring him success. Stay nice and low. He got caught when he stood up in the last round with a decent shot. If he stays low, he's a harder target to hit.
Not been able to find one of those massive hooks yet. You can see the intention. Helenius cautious himself, waiting for Sprott to commit himself and just content to peck away with that long left-hand lead.
Yeah, he'd be wary when he had that big right hand of Sprott's.
He's very upright, isn't he, Helenius?
Yeah, he's tall. He boxes tall, doesn't he? Which obviously works for him most of the time.
Now 29 years old, Robert Helenius. 9 years, Sprott's junior. Nice uppercut.
Yeah, nice little combination there, wasn't it? Michael just got caught standing still on the balls, on the heels of his feet a little bit. Just needs to use that little roll movement that you've been doing earlier on. Nice and low, like I said, keep moving that head, then explode with the punches.
Stop! No holding. Box!
Has been taken mainly on gloves and arms by Sprott. Got that sort of been there, seen it, done it persona, that look about him, hasn't he, Michael Sprott? And caught a couple of times as he came in by those left-hand leads of Helenius.
Yeah, just a little bit guilty of waiting too long, isn't he, Michael Sprott? I think he was just letting Helenius pick up the punch with that jab. Obviously, he knows it's a long fight. A long way to go, and hoping that Helenius wears himself out slightly.
10 rounder this one. Here we are in the second in Magdeburg. Nice body shot, nice right hand from Helenius, who's been able to dictate terms in this second round. There's not been a lot of Sprott action in that second 3 minutes.
Captain Hook.
Marco Hook.
Brilliant.
There he is, yeah. He's going to be fighting Ola Ofalabi again before too long, isn't he?
What a fight that's going to be again.
You'd swim the North Sea to go and see that one. Shame we can't have it on in the UK.
And Afalabi's got another big shout to win that fight again, hasn't he?
Ja,
Really is.
Vertrauen, ja.
It's a real pick-em fight.
Absolutely one of the fights of the year, wasn't it? The last round. I think we said at the time in commentary it was like a Rocky movie. It was astonishing.
Was something else. It was a good warm-up, wasn't it, for the Mayweather fight on that night?
Das schön einteilen.
Arthur Abraham always at ringside for the big fights in Germany. Always there for his friend Marco Huck, and Huck returning the compliment. Still a few empty seats, few people in the hospitality areas, in the bars. It'll be absolutely rammed when it comes to the main event. So Robert Helenius, Sprott had his moments in the opening round, but Helenius doing enough, and the second round was one-way traffic.
Yeah, the first round was pretty close, but the clear round, the second round was for Helenius. Michael just waiting a little bit too long, setting himself, not really letting his punches go.
As well as having a lot of fights in Germany, Sprott's sparred on many occasions with both the Klitschko brothers.
Oh, he got a wealth of experience, hasn't he, from the gym to the ring, everything. You know, he's pretty much seen everything, being with some of the best fighters in the world, whether it be in the ring or in the training gym.
And remember, gets this opportunity fighting Robert Helenius tonight after that victory over Edmund Gerber, who we saw in action earlier on this evening, and looking fairly unimpressive as well, Gerber, once more.
Yeah, well, Helenius is certainly a better fighter than Gerber, isn't he? So
that's the hook that Sprott's looking for. Helenius saw it coming and was able to block the shot with that right glove.
See, Michael got some nice rhythm to his work when he decides to, but I just like to see him just dip his legs a little bit and just move his shoulders, slip from side to side, make Helenius look for the target.
He's having a problem getting in, isn't he, at this stage? I know when Chisora had this fight, Daryl Boy said that he was trying to ape the actions of Joe Frazier. That was the kind of style that he was trying to employ to negate the height and reach advantages of Helenius.
Yeah, and I think that works, doesn't it? Like I'm saying, that's you slide into the left, slide to the right, the sharp movements are coming back with the hooks, and it worked for Derek, and I think it worked for Michael. But to be fair to Michael, he's taking most of these gloves, most of these punches on his gloves, isn't he? Blocking most of the shots.
But he's not really landing anything at this stage.
No, well, Helenius is using his reach and his height advantage, and he dictating everything behind that really long jab. Well, that's all he's throwing, isn't it?
Just picking away at Sprott, who's not finding a way past that long left-hand lead. Now he's got him where he wants, but Helenius able to tie him up. German referee Ingo Barabas. And if it goes the distance, then judges, 2 Austrians and a German. I said earlier on in one of the earlier commentaries, Michael Sprott before tonight had fought 14 times in Germany. He's made a lot of money over there. That's more like it. That's what he wants at last. Sprott gets into range and lands a single right hand, but that was about the extent of it.
Yeah, again, just waiting a little bit too long to force his way into the fight. He's waiting for Helenius to commit himself and make a mistake. But Helenius won't make a mistake against Michael Sprott. He won't commit himself. But the time when Michael Sprott could push him back onto the rope, to get to land that big right hand. So I think, you know, he knows if he can push him back, he can land and land effectively.
Well, it's the shot that he wants, and he took him 3 minutes to get there. Finally got through. Michael Sprott needs more of the same. But at the moment, the game plan is working pretty effectively for Helenius. Bit of swelling under that right eye. He's got sort of very pale skin, which does show every single mark.
Yeah, I was very similar to that, John. You missed me close up to the left hook. I had the black eye, and I think Helenius is the same sort of colouring as myself.
I always had you down as one of those tall Nordic types, Barry. Into the third round then. Fourth round, I beg your pardon. A 10-rounder, Robert Helenius. No need for identification, really. A tall, thin now fighting out of Germany, Swedish-born, the Nordic Nightmare.
That's better by Michael, trying to stay low, trying to tap with that jab and a good right hand.
This is where he wants to be.
I think in the second and the third round he was waiting for Helenius to make a mistake, to commit himself, and that's not going to happen, so he's going to have to force the fight, force the pace, is Michael Sprott.
Leapt in behind that left hook again. Helenius was able to get the glove up and block its progress. Well, Michael Sprott has changed the pattern a little here in this fourth round, as indeed he had to.
Yeah, it's the right idea as well, isn't it? Much better start to this round for Michael Sprott. Hasn't landed with anything really clean yet, but it's the right idea, isn't it? Put pressure on Helenius, trying to make him make a mistake.
A couple of nice body shots, and Sprott needs more of the same. Sprott's corner imploring him to keep his hands up.
That was good work from Michael Sprott. Didn't quite come off, but he just dipped and threw that right hand.
There goes the left hand. Needs more of them.
It's getting that staying low, isn't it? Staying low and coming back up with a shot.
He's having a lot more success in this round, Barry.
Doing well, isn't he? Putting pressure on Helenius.
It's good for him, Helenius, though. Left hand, right cross, twice.
You can't stay at range, can you, with Helenius? You've got to be in that three-quarter range or close as you could possibly get.
Absolutely. And as you've said on several occasions, fighting small.
Yeah, make him punch down. It's hard to punch down. It's hard to punch down with power and accuracy.
Watch your head, okay?
You've got to be aware the uppercut's coming at you, but it was harder to land with an uppercut than it is with a straight right or a straight left. He needs to keep a little bit more active, doesn't he, Michael Sprott? Like he did at the beginning of the round, he needs to fight at a high pace.
He's always been technically a very good fighter, Michael Sprott.
Yeah, he's just been guilty of switching off, hasn't he, at times throughout his career.
A couple of solid-looking shots in the closing stages of that round from Helenius.
I gave that round to Sprott.
Did a lot more there, though.
Oh, yeah, I gave it to Sprott, yeah. I think Helenius landed with some good shots.
Keep going, Michael, with two hands. Listen, look at me when I told you. You punch with two hands. You're punching on one hand. I want you punching on two hands. And listen, I want you punching straight. Yeah. Every time you go, well, can you miss him, all right? All right? You've got to go him, keep taking his ground. You won that round, but only by a whisker. That's the first round you won. You've got to start winning some rounds back. All right?
Yeah.
All right?
All right. Okay, so let's believe in yourself.
Fifth round coming up. Yeah, fifth round. Come on, show something you've got.
Don't take silly shots. Yeah. Move the top and come back in straight punches, all right?
Yeah.
But we've got to keep winning the round. That's the first one we won. Now you mean it, Come on.
Well, that's pretty much right.
Come on, man.
He said it was close. He said it was won. Said he won it. Promise you that Jim Evans can't actually hear us, but I think that was pretty much spot on, Barry.
Really good, isn't he? He's so honest, isn't he, Jim Evans? But he was saying, no, he said move your top, but as he say, move your body and come back with shots. And he's right, I think. The straight punches were working for Michael. And good advice, stay nice and low, which he said.
So it's 3-1, and Sprott needs to maintain the initiative that he claimed in that fourth round, and here he comes.
Yeah, just a few seconds earlier, just landed with nice 3 jabs, didn't he?
He did.
One to the body, 2 to the head.
There's another. Quality jab. It's a nice right hand from Helenius by way of response. Bruising and reddening around the left eye of Helenius.
I just worry sometimes when Michael holds his hands up high, tries to soak up some of the punishment, then he might be giving the round away sometimes. Just just needs to keep moving that head all the time.
Sprott certainly giving this would-be world title challenger, though, still plenty to think about here in this 5th round.
Boxing well, isn't he, Sprott?
Yep.
He got a beautiful jab, hasn't he? Real classy-looking punch.
Not too many people cheering for Michael Sprott in this arena. Every time he lands that jab or gets through the quality shot, you hear the shouts of yes coming from the corner.
He's doing well. I think, I think he gave away a little bit at the beginning of that round, but he's come back into the round, I think. A jab being a good weapon for Sprott against a much taller opponent with a massive reach advantage. So you would think.
When Helenius is there at that range, then he's very much in the comfort zone.
I think Michael needs a big finish now. Yes, from that range there, that's when Michael's always going to come off second best, isn't he?
Well, Helenius able to pick him off for much of this round.
Good work there, though.
Not enough, though, Barry. Overall. And Helenius finishing the round strongly.
Yeah, just give it to Helenius. You have to, really, don't you? Just think Michael just give it.
I sense that you give it reluctantly, but I think he did enough.
Yeah, I do. I just think I think it's in Michael to win some of these rounds. I think he's giving them away just by trying to soak up some of the punishment. It's a beautiful jab. Really a good punch. It's a real classy looking punch.
Helenius marking up Sprott. I guess it's a testimony to his defensive talents that having been in the ring so long, what is it now, 56 pro fights behind him, he's not really very much marked at all by his time in the boxing ring.
Yeah, he knows how to ride the shot, doesn't he, very well. Uses his shoulders to block all punches. And he's a big round now, though, John.
He does. We're into the second half of the fight. And the way we're looking at it, we've got Robert Helenius 4 rounds to 1 ahead. The only one on our card that's going to Michael Sprott was the 4th. And he's not been able to get the taller man, the Berlin-based Scandinavian Robert Helenius. He's not been able to get him into any real trouble, but that's a nice right hand.
2 right hands he's landed with there at the beginning of this round. It's a good start from Sprott. As Jim Evans was saying, he's let both hands go. Doesn't like the pressure, does he, Helenius?
No, he doesn't. Well, he's pretty, I mean, you don't like to be too dismissive, but he's pretty useless as an infighter, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's never had to do it before, has he? Because that jab has dominated everything for him in the past.
You get some big guys who can do it. You know, you think back a few years to Riddick Bowe. What a wonderful infighter he was.
Oh yeah. But you have to do it from the amateur game, don't you? From the amateur game was different back then. Body shots were scored. You know, when Helenius was an amateur, computer scoring, and there was no body shots were scored. So you never learned to throw body shots, never learned to work the body.
He's fairly effectively picking Sprott off from range and settling back into the rhythm again now.
Sprott just needs to pick up on that bright start that he had in this round. Let 2 hands go. Come back with that hook, stay nice and low again, as we said, and keep moving them shoulders, keep bobbing that head. Shot.
Sprott just not landing enough punches, though. He's having his moments, but needs to do more.
Yeah, he's trying to draw the right hand of Helenius, isn't he? You can see him looking for it. Good work, though, there from Sprott.
Well, that was very much the tactic employed by Derek Chisora back in December 2011, when, to most neutral eyes, he was pretty badly robbed, Del Boy, against Helenius. Couple of nice body shots from Helenius. Referee saving Sprott from potential embarrassment, maybe. Caught by a right hand, Sprott, as he tried to tee off that right hook. Off balance and having to take a couple as the bell sounds. How did you score that one?
Yeah, for Helenius, I think Sprott had some success in there, but I just think, again, just letting Helenius land with too many jabs.
Well, that was one of his scoring punches, but there weren't enough of them.
Yeah, he had some success, and I think he can have more success. He's a little bit more proactive.
I thought Sprott was going to be able to get inside and work more to the body than he has done.
He can get inside. He has got inside. He's had success when he's done it. He's not doing it enough, is he? And it's well within Sprott's capabilities here to make this a much harder fight for Helenius.
Keine Einzelfehler. Schön, bam ab, 1-2 wieder.
6 rounds gone, and you've got it 5-1 to Robert Helenius.
Yeah, and I think maybe that first round you could have given to Sprott possibly, but you know, all the others except for the last one again have been clear for Helenius, I think.
Let me remind you, this heavyweight contest is a 10-rounder. Here we are in round 7. Michael Sprott, now 38 years old.
That's good from Sprott there, right on the front foot. Helenius hates the pressure, doesn't he?
I don't think he's got great stamina, Barry. I think if he does get put under it, he struggles to stay with the pace. Happy to fight like this all night long.
Yeah. Well, he's happy to just, yeah, you're right, he's happy just to throw that jab, isn't he? Just keep throwing the same punch that he's having success with. And obviously, because Michael Sprott's not getting hurt by it, it's not affecting him, he's just soaking it up, not worrying about it, but he's picking up the points. As soon as Sprott decides to let his hands go, decides to take a step forward, he's having the better of the two.
That's better from Sprott, needs more of it. Good from Helenius.
Michael's standing too tall, isn't he? That's why. When he stayed low.
He doesn't want to be taking those. And another one. And he felt the weight of those two left hands.
Just want to see Michael dip that left shoulder, throw that right hand over the top. Helenius starting to drop that left hand now, isn't he? Just a little feint with the jab.
Sprott needs a big attack.
Yeah.
Needs to find a way to turn this fight around. And it doesn't look as though it's coming. Helenius finishing the round on top. And Sprott just looking a little bit disheartened as he makes his way back to the corner.
Yeah, I just think Helenius, but he allowed Helenius to control things beyond the jab.
This is the end of the road. This is your last fight tonight with me, mate, because you're fucking at it.
And me.
You're fucked.
And me.
Right? So you've got to go out there, go out on your sword, mate, because this is your last fight. Seriously. All right? I'm not being messed about, but, you know, you've got to go out on your sword, and that's it, mate. But you ain't performing at all, and, you know, this is fucking bloke is too bob. Seriously.
What's wrong with you, mate?
Right?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to be a fucking champion? You want to fight for a title? What are you going to do?
It's all over, mate. It's all
Well,
over.
that's rather told him in no uncertain terms where it is.
You've got to go out there, just go out and have a round. And what round's this?
Fucking round 8. Round 8. Round 8. 2 more rounds.
What round's this?
8.
Right. Drive yourself now. Right, here we go. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Well, I said when he went back to his corner he was looking a bit sorry for himself, and I think Jim Evans, from what he said, read it exactly the same way.
Well, he's no nonsense, isn't he, Jim Evans, and he's pretty much saying... But I was thinking, to be honest, that it's in Michael Sprott's capabilities to win this fight. I really think it do. I think he's, like I said earlier on in the rounds, he'd been giving the rounds away.
Well, Jim Evans suggesting that Helenius, as he puts it, is just not too bob.
I wouldn't quite say that. I think Helenius is still a decent fighter, but I think Michael Sprott, I think if he kept the pressure on that he has in some parts of this fight, could win this fight.
He's given him an awful lot of respect, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's given away too many rounds. Once he puts the pressure on, once he lets his hands go, for me, he looks the better fighter. See, he can't slip the jab, can he, Michael Sprott? You see it there.
Glancing blow with that left hook from Sprott that took a solid right hand by way of reply from Helenius. Well, landed the 2 then. But there's no sustained pressure from Sprott.
Yeah, then I think that's where lies the problem. I think that's where Jim Evans is frustrated. He's seeing Michael have success.
And then not letting his hands go.
Yeah, in fleeting moments he's having success, but he's not capitalising on it. He's not maintaining the momentum. We've already seen Michael Sprott slip a jab with ease. He can do it in his sleep, I think, and I just think he could do that coming forward all the time. Like I said, dip that left shoulder, come back with a right hand over the top.
I sometimes think, watching Michael Sprott, he's had all these rounds of sparring over in Germany, and you wonder whether or not he sometimes tends to slip into sparring partner mentality when he's just content to just block and parry and kind of make the other guy look not so good, but at the same time he's not scoring enough himself.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it is. He has a lot of talent, Sprott, as you've seen in the past. Doing all those rounds of sparring, getting paid to spar. Sometimes, you know, you get into bad habits, and that's what he's doing now. He's comfortable in there, he's not getting hurt.
Well, they want him to go in there and have a row, and he's not really delivered. Closing stages of the 8th round, and another round for Robert Helenius.
Bremer there, I think it's Jack Kulkai just next to him.
There he is.
Beauty and the Beast.
Dann haust du mal direkt drüber und den Aufwärtshang. Hörst du da, was los? So ganz einfach hinstellen und Papa ganz locker links, rechts von den Aufwärtshang runter. Ja, das reicht aber. Es geht doch nicht hier um Michael Sprott.
They're going to be fairly pleased with Robert Helenius in that camp, because really he's made it his fight, hasn't he?
Yeah, I honestly think, though, that Michael Sprott's giving it away. I do. I sort of agree with Jim Evans. I think Michael Sprott can beat this fella. I genuinely do.
Fangen wir an zu spielen hier.
You wouldn't give it an earthly against Vladimir Klitschko.
Oh, no chance. I'd rather see Michael Sprott with Klitschko than Helenius.
Into the 9th round. And Michael Sprott, fair to say, has not had one of his best nights so far.
Yeah, that's right. You can pull it out of the bag. We've seen that in the past, haven't we?
Well, if he pulled this one out of the bag, it'd be some turnaround.
But like Jim Evans said, I say go on your shield, he says go on your sword, but you know, we'd like to see that now with Michael Sprott. He can do it, he's capable of doing it now. I think he could give Helenius a torrid time now in these last 2 rounds. There's a great jab for a heavyweight, doesn't he, Michael Sprott?
Well, I've heard Jim Evans give the this is the end of the road line speech before, and then a few months later he's been back, but get the impression he's certainly very frustrated by what his fighter has produced, or rather not produced, in there tonight.
Well, you have a fighter who, if a fighter's getting beat because the guy's just too good on the night, you can accept that. When you think your fighter's better and he's just not making enough effort or whatever, then it's a frustrating night. I'm not suggesting that Michael Sprott's not making an effort, but you tend to think that he could and would be having more success if he let his hands go.
Only 1 round remaining after this. And Sprott is going to have to knock him out if he's going to win this fight. Can't see it coming.
But to be fair to Helenius, you know, I'm sort of slating Michael Sprott for maybe giving the rounds away, but Helenius just kept going about his work, hasn't he? He kept busy.
Well, that's what I said earlier, isn't it? He's made it his fight, his tactics, for the most part, are the ones that have worked. That's better from Sprott, but too little too late again.
Yeah, and for me also. I think Helenius just dictating everything behind that really long left jab, isn't he?
This round, mate, open broke, punch it, get your hands up, punch yourself right out, and you've got to do a mile of work. If you don't stop him, you beat, all right? All right? It's as simple as that, mate, all right? Good boy. Mate, well done, ref, well done, all right? Still all right? Got it in your tank?
It's not going in tank.
You've got to go, mate, you've got to go. Jump shield.
Warum machst du nicht? Sag mal. Was?
Helenius has been methodical, he's kept it at range, he's picked away. No fireworks, not a great deal really to enthuse the crowd, but he's done his job.
Schön sicher trotzdem bleiben, bis die letzte Chance. Und mal rechts drüber geben mehr, ja?
Give yourself credit for keeping Michael on the end of that jab, keeping it at long range. But for me, at the end of this fight, I'm gonna feel as if Michael Sprott threw it away rather than Helenius has won it.
Well, he's got 3 minutes in which he can change it round. You heard what the corner said. Have you got it in the tank? Go out there and do it. Here we go. Head going in and the upper. Now, where was this 2 rounds ago? 3 rounds ago? 4 rounds ago? Sprott onto the front foot and gambling, and straight away Helenius, when he gets put under pressure like this, looks disorganised and doesn't really know what to do at close quarters.
Yeah, it's a different Michael Sprott altogether, isn't it? He showed a few flashes of this, hasn't he, earlier on in the fight. And then Helenius now just be clever. Now you think keep his hands up nice and high, keep his concentration up. Good work there, though.
Nice, that was nice from Helenius. And a nod of recognition as a quality shot delivered from Michael Sprott.
again, a nice little combination there from Helenius.
Decent little right uppercut inside from Sprott as he switched the attack to head after throwing those couple of hooks, though.
And that's, he just dipped his shoulder just a few seconds ago, and that's when he needs to throw that right hand over the top. As the fight's going on, Helenius is just dropping that left hand lower and lower, begging for the right hand over the top.
Bellowing from the Sprott corner, giving him a time countdown as how long he's got to find what would effectively have to be a knockout punch. He's got to find one huge one from somewhere. Maybe not quite there.
But you know, you think Helenius now would be too clever, wouldn't you, to get involved in any sort of war now. He's kept Michael Sprott at long range for 9.5 rounds.
Well, Sprott's doing well in this last round, but where's this been for the last 7, 8, 9 rounds that we've been watching?
Yeah, he just haven't been able to fire off tonight, is he, for some reason?
Well, Helenius has, I guess he's done his job. He's fought well from range. That's a sweet right hand.
Yeah. Good counter punching there on the balls of his feet. And again, good work from Helenius.
Last 10 seconds, and it's not going to come. Once again, as for a lot of his career, Michael Sprott remains a nearly man, and Robert Helenius gets the win that he wanted. Not spectacular, though.
No. No, it's not. I still think, you know, I do think that Michael Sprott had in his capabilities to win that, maybe. No, maybe cause a little bit of an upset or make it a much closer fight. Just didn't seem to fire off. But in that last round, he gave it a good go, didn't he? And then just faded at the end.
He did.
But you have to give Helenius some credit, though. I guess, you know, he kept Michael at long range, kept him behind that nice long jab. And,
that wasn't quite what Helenius was expecting. Sorry, straight away, Michael Sprott said. Well, that's Robert Helenius's lady. She was a bit worried. Not to be then for Michael Sprott tonight. And it was a disappointing performance. You've got to give credit to Robert Helenius, though.
Yeah, he worked well behind the jab, didn't he? You know, he done the basics well, Helenius, and didn't make many mistakes. And it was some good uppercuts as well, didn't he, to be fair to him. But
he said that right arm went when he fought Derek Chisora, and that he would have dealt with him more easily had it not. I'm not convinced about that.
No. Because Derek would have put a lot more pressure on than Michael Sprott did tonight. And a Michael Sprott we've seen on another night. The Michael Sprott we've seen box the first time he boxed Gerber. Those first few rounds when he dominated Gerber. That Michael Sprott would have caused Helenius give Helenius kittens tonight.
He looks very disappointed, Michael Sprott. He knows that he's not delivered. And Helenius takes another step towards what could be a very, very big payday.
Offizielle Urteil. Norbert Dürnberger wertet den Kampf 98:93. Jörg Mielke 97:93 und Rainer Schwarz 98:93. Alle drei einstimmig für Robert Helenius.
Helenius winning by margins of 5 rounds on 2 of the cards, 4 rounds on the third, and a fairly emphatic victory for Robert Helenius. Disappointing, though, from Michael Sprott.
So, a disappointing night in many ways for Michael Sprott. Now, we've seen that before in some of his performances overseas, and I tell you, you could just tell from his face, Steve, he was absolutely pig-sick with himself, wasn't he?
It was. Look, he don't need us to tell him it was a poor performance for him tonight. He showed, he had a little go early on then. And he went in the last round of call, which he took, but for too long, he showed a sparring partner mentality. It's like when we go to Austria and see him with the Klitschko's, what he does in the ring with them. He had that mentality for far too long, and when he came into the fight in the 10th round, it was out of sight.
I tell you what, there was, if you want to talk about a sparring partner mentality, there was no sparring partner mentality in Sprott's corner when he went back at the end of round 7 and sat down facing a man he's known probably for 20-odd years, he's been pro with. This is what happened when Michael Sprott slumped down and Jim Evans, a wise old man of British boxing, got in the ring. This is X-rated, old school, old style, the kind of corner work that's needed. Sit back and enjoy this.
Up and down, Michael, boy. Right, Michael, this is the end of the road. This is your last fight tonight with me, mate, because you're fucking at it.
And me.
You're fucked.
And me.
Right? Now, you've got to go out there, go out on your sword, mate, because this is your last fight. Seriously. All right? I'm not being messed about, but, you know, you've got to go out on your sword, and that's it, mate. But you ain't performing at all, and, you know, this is fucking bloke is too bob. Seriously.
What's wrong with you, mate?
Right?
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You want to be a fucking champion? You want to fight for a title? What are you going to do?
It's all over, mate. It's all over.
What do you want to fucking do?
Right. You've got to go out there. Just go out and have a round. And what round's this?
Fucking round 8. Round 8. 2 more rounds.
What round's this?
8.
Right. Drive yourself now. Right, here we go. Come on. Come on.
That was like Jim Evans with Joe Pesci, wasn't it, in the corner there? That was quality. That was Frank Joseph and Jim Evans putting it on Michael Sprott, and rightly so, because Michael has been a brilliant boxer, a brilliant servant of British boxing, and he deserves better than just performing like that against Helenius. Maybe he needs a break and he'll come back. And you know what, if he decides to call the show on Monday and call it a day, you know, I'd devote an entire show to him. I'd get back through his films. Absolutely brilliant. Michael, you just didn't get it right tonight. Helenius went on, now he'll fight Klitschko.